Hello, everybody. I almost just resorted to a lazy intro where I know I did that one already, where I think I said like, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Baker's Dozen. I don't think I went like that far with it.
I don't think we got that far.
Not that far, but like I would. But since I like scratched the surface, welcome to the Baker's Dozen, a wonderful podcast that now you can catch on motherflippin' Spotify. We are now on Spotify. I want to give a huge shout out to another great podcaster, producer, Jesse Wall, Cypher003.
Did he help you give you the insight?
So here's about to be the best part. He had nothing to do with this at all. He has no idea I'm shouting him out right now until he probably watches this episode, which I'm sure he will since he seems to be a fan of the show. I started I started listening to his show. And his very first episode, he references a service called Anchor, which seems to be a partnered service with Spotify. So as long as you upload your podcast to Anchor for free, you can then put it on Spotify. Yeah. So podcast is now on Spotify thanks to the information that I picked up from inherently listening to another amazing podcaster. Mountain. Yeah. So
yeah,
huge
I actually. Yeah, I'll shout that out too. I drove to Buffalo a couple weeks ago for a wedding.
We talked about that last episode. Yep.
Yeah.
Shout out.
And it's about 5.5 hour drive. And I loaded up on a couple Smash podcasts. I think I watched 2 episodes of that and another podcast that interviewed PGH Carroll. So I had like 3 different. Yeah. It was Wasabi did that.
Wasabi and JD.
Yep.
Always shout outs to those homies as well. Other homies of the shows. I remember being on theirs. Yeah.
On the way. Okay. I think I checked that out then.
I was on. I did an interview with JD. I don't remember if it was a part of like the Wannabes at the time, but I did do an interview with JD a long time back. No shade to JD. Nothing but love for him. Not to take away from your tangent. No hate to JD by any means. But that motherfucker, I asked him multiple times in the interview to like cut something out and he didn't. And it's just in the raw file. And you can just hear me say, yeah, just cut that part out. Like, don't worry about that. Or like there was a moment I had to like Google something like about one of my past The Bakery episodes. And as I'm searching for it, it took like a solid 2 minutes. So there's just 2 minutes of silence and like we're not talking. I'm like, JD, you didn't edit like any of this, my guy.
Hey, sometimes it's the experience, you know?
He did build onto it. But anyway, not to derail from you there.
No, but it was cool because I'm very fortunate. My commute now is only about 10 minutes.
Ooh.
So I don't have time to listen to things in the morning, which is also like there's like other content that I've been trying to get into more, and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna listen to it on my way to work. I'm gonna get to like an intro, and then I'm there.
Right. No, I couldn't relate less. I mean, like if I ever end up having a commute again, because of course right now my commute is about 10 seconds. Bed.
Just like set up your
bed
other
to
monitor.
here. Yeah, my office computer is right here. Personal shit right here. So like no, I literally can just turn it on and I'm ready to go. But if I end up having to commute again for work, it's like a 40 to 45 minute drive, given bad Virginia traffic. So that's actually what I used to do, is either listen to podcasts or I used to be more addicted to watching Game of Thrones. So I would just listen to Game of Thrones because I've just seen it enough times through.
Yeah.
So, no, I definitely get that mood where it's like, when do you have the time to do it? So you go on a long-ass trip, it's good to load up on content that you're gonna want to listen to.
And now that we're on Spotify, you can download it.
Now
and have
you
it ready
can
to go
do that
for
us. Exactly. YouTube, who the fuck wants to pay for YouTube Red or premium YouTube?
I have YouTube Premium.
Do you really?
You know how they always, how they always throw those like month free trial things. So I got that, and I was like,
that?
no, yeah, I had a free month, a YouTube Premium, and I was like, I don't have any ads on mobile.
There's like
I can be like out of the app and still have my YouTube video going.
I mean,
these things are kind of nice.
There's like moments of that's like sick, and then there's moments of that it's, in my opinion, it's just fucking annoying. Here, I'm gonna teach you something though. If you didn't know this, and this is gonna be teaching for anyone that's using the visuals right now. If you want to skip past ads that might be too long, or you're just tired of seeing them, so this is for visuals. Right now, I have an ad loaded. It's on a Binging with Babish video, right? You see it? So bottom corner, there's the little ad timer. The little ad timer. It tells you how long it's going to go. It's got 14 seconds left. There's a little eye in a circle right next to the timer. If you tap on it, pulls up this little stupid menu. And it'll say a bunch of things. It says, why this ad, stop seeing this ad, control your Google ads. If you hit stop seeing this ad, it's going to ask you, are you sure you want to stop seeing it? You say yes. And then it's going to ask you, what's wrong with this ad? You could say literally any of these. I always just say,
but it just takes away the ad, and then you go to the video.
And then, you just hit send, and boom, the video is now playing. You skipped the ad. Look at that. It's a life hack. I'm teaching you all things, so that way you don't even have to use YouTube, and you can just go to fucking Spotify, because now we're on it. Ooh.
True.
Ooh. Did I ever even finish the intro? Yeah. This is the bakery.
This was the intro.
This is the bakery. This is the baker's dozen, boys. Oh my. I'm falling apart today. This is the baker's dozen.
This is gonna be the most organized episode
we've ever had. Episode.
I can already tell.
This is the most scuffed episode of the baker's dozen. YungD0nut, DrewNG here, back at it again. We have such a scuffed show for you here today. It's just been a time and a half. There's just been so much going on. How do we even address it? I mean,
the newest heel of Melee Twitter. Twitter's back at it again.
The newest heel of Melee Twitter.
Has got.
Oh yeah, NoFlex has put out like another 2 more fucking self-reports.
Hype, right? I like. Oh yeah. Come on. He lost the Ganon Ditto, and he's like, "You think that counts? It's a Ditto. That doesn't mean anything." I'm like, bro, he literally beat you with your character.
No.
That's like more. That's like should be more than it. You can't even be like, "Oh, this top 2 character beat me." No,
I can't.
Someone legit beat you with.
I can't
Ganon.
wait for him to pull a Luigi Gauchard and come out and say like, so I just want you guys all to know that like this has just been a character that I'm doing, and like I don't actually have any hate for these people. Like I'm really a nice guy. Like I am just waiting for that to fucking happen, because if it doesn't at this point, NoFluxes, what the fuck is wrong with you?
He's got to be into the bit. I mean, I'm sure he's getting so much more viewership.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, it's like that's like the people that watched.
It's like the ploy.
What's that guy? You know who I'm going to be talking about here? Who went to Buffalo tournaments for Ultimate and Smash 4, and he was the fucking dude. He was like okay at the game, like he was good enough to make it out of pools and stuff, but then he gets in a bracket and he slams his controller every time.
Wait, I know who you're talking about.
You know who you're talking about.
Like the old head, right?
Yeah. Because remember, he took his controller,
I know
by the wire.
Yep.
And
I remember he broke another controller at a Mid-Hudson tournament I was at. Am I gonna I know the name. Am I gonna call it out?
I mean, at heart he's a good dude, but like, stop looking like a psychopath. Like you can shout out the name. I can't remember it for the life of me.
It's Goggles.
Kid Goggles. Yeah. Like again, seems like a nice dude in person.
I was talking about his friend / teammate, Pika Pika, right? I was talking about him the other day.
He's another one. Again,
well, he's not like that though.
No, he doesn't do that, but he, from what I remember,
he's got a house.
What?
He just got a house. I'm friends with him on Facebook.
Oh, yeah. How nice.
But no, I've had some
interactions.
I've had some interactions. We teamed once at an event. Yeah, it was weird time.
Yeah.
I love Teams. But
Teams is good.
That'll be a whole thing.
Teams is good.
I love Teams.
Before we dive into our actual like.
Oh no! This goes into it. Want to know where there wasn't Teams?
where there wasn't
main stage.
Oh, I wasn't even gonna.
They didn't.
That's
They didn't
what
have,
I was saying. I wasn't gonna jump into that.
No, we're going in. They didn't have doubles. That sucks.
Why
I mean,
didn't
it's
they have
probably because there
doubles?
was
What?
probably I don't know. I mean, Summit didn't have doubles at the last event, so maybe
Summit
BTS
didn't have
Smash,
any
they
doubles at all.
No, they didn't have any doubles at the last one. They just
fuck?
I guess they just don't value doubles as much. And I guess when you don't have like the more static teams there, I get that it's not as exciting because you're not gonna have like an Armada teaming with someone or like.
Armada?
But yeah, no, there was no
Yeah.
there was no doubles at the last Summit. There was no doubles here. But also, I mean, this one it was opening more for Nick All-Stars Brawl. That time was basically just replaced. And I think we might have talked about that. I think we actually in the first episode
Talked
were
about with
saying
scheduling and now
that with scheduling you would probably hurt doubles.
Yeah, I think we did talk about that because ultimately
and look, they just didn't have it because
Yeah.
that's that like Friday, finish it off probably Saturday,
which they did
sort of
didn't
event.
They? Didn't they finish?
They
it Saturday?
they put top 4 on Sunday, I think.
So it wasn't
think.
even that much, but they still wrapped it up on that.
Yeah,
on Sunday,
I think it's probably they probably had
Sunday.
yeah.
See, but I heard
Again,
the
they
biggest,
might have had a.
I heard the biggest issue was the ultimate singles, and that
The
they really
ultimate-
thought they could finish everything in 3 hours. It's like, do you know how long that shit?
I mean, every event schedules top 8 for 3 hours when they shouldn't. I didn't watch any of Melee Top 8 live.
Same.
I go to bed at like 10 o'clock.
I am
these
a
days.
reasonable adult. Yes.
It was like 10:30, and I was like, I can't stay up for this. I was like, I need to go to bed.
Yep. No, I literally watched all the VODs yesterday to get caught up on everything. Oh, fuck, I just definitely doxed when we record. But, hey, if people aren't good at deciphering days. Anyway.
What do you mean? You said yesterday.
Yeah, what's today? Exactly. So
Tuesday. Well, I mean, maybe we record on Thursdays, you know? Yesterday could have been Wednesday.
Why would I have just recorded it yesterday? Well, actually, I don't know. Anyway.
You said yesterday. That's just any day before the day we record, you know?
I
don't
nothing.
get into do not. All right. So now that they know we record on Tuesdays, don't
You said it, not me.
don't hack my computer and DDoS me on
Tuesdays.
nights.
Don't hack our Wi-Fi on Tuesdays.
But I mean, if ExpressVPN wanted a sponsor, I mean, we could talk about that.
But
That's
until
a good way
they do,
to
you can
protect
hack
that.
me.
Until that, you could probably get it.
But yeah, no, we definitely did talk about that. And so when it comes down to like all this scheduling shit, oh yeah, by the way, we're talking about main stage. Main stage, big, I guess you could call it a major.
We should have.
It was a major, right?
It was a major.
Smash major?
Yeah, it was definitely a major. There was
I would
say
god.
There was most of the top 10 besides the top 2. But most of the top 10.
So we had HBox, we had Wizzy, we had IBDW, we had Ginger, we had S2J, Lucky.
I think everyone else was there besides like Plup,
Mango,
Zane,
M2K,
and Mango.
Zane.
M2K doesn't enter anymore. Come on. I don't consider him
he
anymore.
really doesn't, huh?
No. It's Zane, Mango, and Plup are not there. Granted, those are like probably 3 in the top 5.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
besides them.
Moki wasn't there either.
I guess Moki wasn't there either. I guess I don't.
I mean, I don't consider Curtis like in the gods, but like he is definitely one of the top players that's still up and
for sure.
wiping faces. But I mean, if you haven't seen main stage by now, I'm gonna give you the next 3 seconds to close out of this because we're definitely gonna be talking about it. 3, 2, 1. Gave you all the time you needed. If you haven't seen or watched any of it, we're definitely gonna talk about the results and shit. Yes. Shout out Wizzy fan, like goddamn Wizzy. Oh, none.
Not Wizzy fan. Wizzy fan didn't make it in the top 16.
He didn't. Yeah,
Wizzy. He lost a slug.
Yeah, he did. Slug's sick.
Lost a slug.
Slug is fucking tight.
Wizzy fan didn't too hot, but Wizzy himself.
Off.
Yeah. That was good. I feel like what was the other tournament what was the major that he won over HBox?
Smash and Splash?
I think it was Smash and Splash. I think it was. I think you're right on that.
I have never been wrong.
It's crazy how there's these different parts of our brain that can remember little things like that. I mean, I get it for like the more iconic things, and you're like, oh, what happened at like the Big House 9? But like a random or like something like that, or like, oh, what major did Plup win? Oh, he won Genesis, and then everything turned into the Plup Club by like Monday morning.
Exactly.
Like,
and now fucking Wizrobe wins a tournament, and everyone's just kind of like, yo, that was sick, dude. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was Smash and Splash 5 because he literally tweeted, I won a super major with Captain Falcon. I'm so happy. Thank you for cheering for me. Hashtag SNS5. Now I have to warm up for Ultimate Top 8. What a fucking
wow.
legend.
Wow, he's in top 8 of our Ultimate that tournament? That's sick.
Oh my god.
That's sick.
Dude's insane. Like, actually, as much as like I know the Captain Falcon base loves to like shit on Wizzy for like the lame play style and shit, but like, shut up. Shut the fuck up.
I think most Captain Falcons are lame.
Okay,
so.
well, you know, your
so
input
the Falcon
here
plays
is less relevant now. Look what happens. You're canceled.
I'm not a big Falcon fan.
I know. Why do you not like Falcon? Why?
He's so lame. Not even just Wizrobe. He's just like bears. He just like, no, he just nares at you and he retreating stomps.
Okay, Fox, what do you do?
I literally
nair at you.
I literally go right at you with my stick. I go right at you, and sometimes I run past you to overshoot to counteract that, but I go right at you.
You a funny
and do you know what Falcon does?
What does Falcon do?
He waits for me, and then he punishes when I go in. Like, what is this? It's crap.
How dare he? Fucking douchebag. He's just
it's
waiting.
Crazy. He's just waiting there menacingly.
Put the SpongeBob meme up in that. You just got Captain Falcon dash dancing right side of Battlefield, Fox left side. He's just standing there. Oh my god! I mean,
that'd be good. That's good.
The thing though, like with Wizzy though, he doesn't even like. I feel like out of all Falcons, like he's really not. It's hard to say, right? Because, of course, if I put out the proposition that I don't think Wizzy is that campy of a Falcon, everyone's going to turn to, oh, yeah, do you watch him play HBox? And it's like, okay.
That's that matchup.
Yeah, right?
No,
like
that you got to do that. Because HungryBox has been playing a lot more patient and trying to wait you out more.
Mm-hmm. I'm literally watching him play all these sets, him versus SFAT, him versus, who else did he play? That was just kind of a slaughter. No, fuck that. Not even a slaughter. I want to talk a little bit here about fucking oh my god.
I was gonna say Kadoran.
Why am I forgetting? Yeah, Kadoran. Dude, what a set between him and HBox though. Like
I didn't see that set. Was that a good one?
It was some pretty hype shit to see
really?
him go. Because I mean,
I saw him tweet something about still not knowing what he's doing against.
Which like is
Puff.
fair. And there's certain moments that like, yeah, he definitely did get pretty fucked up. I think in like losers finals, but ultimately he definitely did well, I think, in their winner set, and like he was learning a good amount about different things here that he could do. He had crazy like recoveries at certain points. Like I'm pretty sure he was trying to recover. Puff would like come out there to try and hit him, and he would get like a side B and a reverse up B and still make it to ledge. And I think at one point he killed HBox doing that. So there was a lot going on between that. But whether or not that set was good, just Kadoran in himself, like he just played fucking sick.
He got third.
No, he did get third. Yeah,
that's big.
Because he beat SFAT.
IBDW.
I be bleeding from the nostrils. He did beat him. Did you see any of that or no? You didn't.
I watched that set. Yeah.
No. I mean Cody be bleeding from the nostrils.
I didn't. I feel bad though.
Yeah, I felt so sad. I was like, my poor guy. He clearly is not doing swell in the nostril area. Somebody help him. But yeah. Otherwise, I mean, yeah, he whooped on Cody, whooped on SFAT. Did he play Ginger or who played Ginger? He did not.
Wizrobe played Ginger. SFAT beat Ginger.
Yes, that is correct.
Speaking of March that did well, did you watch any of Med's sets?
I did not watch Med's sets.
Meds played out of his mind.
Is he playing more Marth now than Fox?
Yeah, or? he's like for those who don't know, super old school.
Mm-hmm.
Used to just be a Fox main, then was like transitioning to Fox Marth. I only saw him play against Magi and Cody, so he was just playing Marth.
Mm-hmm.
He was dominated Magi, and he had some really good moments versus Cody.
To be fair, like in Magi's defense, even like she played crazy too. Like I tuned in for like some of her sets, and she played fucking good.
Yeah, but Meds was like, I thought there was a chance he was gonna maybe beat Cody.
Yeah,
like if he won, if it went to game 5, like it would have been scary, but.
Which
won that one.
Which overall is kind of leading, as much as we keep talking about like these different players and things like that, I think that really leads us into what our primary topic of conversation today is really going to be. And that's a lot about consistency, not just with a podcast that clearly can't choose an introduction, but more of a Super Smash Brothers Melee major, and looking at some of the top performers and trying to understand more about what leads them to get these wins, what leads them to develop into the characters and the play styles that they have.
Yeah. And a little disclaimer, because I know that not everybody that watches this is as invested into the Melee scene. We're going to talk about consistency in different parts that really contribute, that kind of go into competition. I have found a lot of these things that we're going to talk about affected my life as a musician. So while, yes, it's going to be a lot focused on this tournament and these kind of ideas we see in Melee, I'm going to be bringing it back to other things. So there's going to be like lots more to take out in other
This isn't just a Melee podcast.
It's not just a Melee podcast.
It's not. Stop fucking trying out here. It don't matter what you say. But no, I agree. Definitely have other things to mention alongside it, but there were a lot of notable moments that I wanted to try and touch on. I mean, first thing that I would even bring to the table here is the concept of seeding. When you think about seeding a tournament, the number one thing that's going to pop into your mind is like, how consistently is this person winning events? Yeah. How
like where are they going to end up?
Yeah.
Like, it's a pretty fair shake that it's Cody HBox 1 and 2.
Yep. And then you just look at the rest of the results though from all of it, and I mean, shit, I don't think Smash GG shows
what seed they were.
Yeah, I don't know if it does.
If I click on Ginger, it does.
It does? Okay.
It does. If you click like through a couple times.
You know, that's a lot of clicking through.
That's a lot of clicking.
It's a lot of clicking. But I mean,
oh
wait, no, they did have Melee doubles.
Did they?
It says Melee doubles was won by S2J and Shroomed.
Why did I hear someone saying there wasn't doubles?
I don't know, but we're going to have to fight them.
Oh, no. I could be wrong.
There were 102 entrants, a top 32 and a top 8. S2J Shroomed won over IBDW and Fiction. Bobby Big Balls and Svop got third. Gatsu Wizzy got fourth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's on me. Did I just not see any coverage about it?
I mean, I didn't either. Truly, that's why I was able to believe you.
That's
I was
on
like,
me.
yeah,
My bad.
Probably didn't happen, but nevertheless,
take it back. Maybe, was it not? Because I was looking at the schedule and I didn't see it because I just saw like NSB. Whoops. Yeah. But those doubles. I hope you didn't click out after the first like 15 minutes.
I mean, you know, everyone's just going to be commenting, "Hey, idiots! There were." Fucking
there
doubles.
Were doubles. I'm like,
doubles, dummy.
Finish the podcast, man.
Maybe finish listening before you start casting stones. Isn't that the saying? I don't know. You like throw stones. Know, something like that.
Yeah. Well,
but oh my God, have you seen SFAT's profile picture? It's his fucking eyes and his nose. What the fuck, Zach? What is this?
On Smash GG?
Yeah, on Smash GG.
Oh, I went
his
to the
fucking profile picture is just like his eyes and his nose. Oh my God. Oh, and he got double elimed by Kadoran. That's wild. That is fucking wild. But yeah, I mean, Wizzy coming into this, what was he? He was 4th seed. Managed to take the whole fucking thing. Hungry Box, of course, 2nd seed. Makes sense. He got 2nd, so I guess lived up to that. Cody was 1st seed. Shockingly,
not Cody's best, not his best tournament.
Yeah,
but, you know.
Yeah, Ginger definitely rocked him a bit in winners there. 9th seed, by the way. What was Axe's seed? Axe was 5th seed, and he.
I disagree with that.
You do.
Yeah, I don't want to. I'm not getting too deep into the tea, but
that's fair.
I think Axe needs to prove himself a little bit more before he gets seeds above people like Ginger.
That's fair.
And Kadoran these days.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And probably even S2J.
Which leads us into consistency. You know, we've been talking a lot about this so far. And I mean, if I just go to, let's say, Axe's profile right now, you know, like as much as he's one of the sweetest human beings of all time, I don't think anyone's ever going to argue that. You look at some of his more recent placings, and yeah, I mean they're not all that fifth material, I guess you could say. Like Summit 11, he got 7th. Melee Singles Pound 2021's online event, he got 9th. Gommel 2021, he got 9th. Riptide, he got 5th, I guess, which was good. Low Tide City, he got 2nd. Who did he lose to here? Ginger. So that's even another interesting prospect here, is that he lost to Ginger, but yet Ginger was still seated lower. I guess first thing that I want to talk to you about is, what do you think builds consistency within a Smash player? What is it you think that helps take them to that point?
Ready for this? This word.
Is this a hot take?
No.
Okay.
This is if you want to get better at anything.
Mm-hmm.
It could be melee, it could be like your tech skill, it could be your ideas. Repetition is key. Repetition leads to consistency. Repetition builds muscle memory. Repetition gets you more aware for situations you want to go to, and that is where you want to go. Look at Wizrobe. Wizrobe won the event. Think about Wizrobe tech chasing a fox. I can't imagine how many times he's been in that situation with little fox like dead on the ground, waiting to see where he's gonna go and punish, sprawled out, ready to punish.
Frames. Yeah.
That his reaction time is like absurd.
Yep.
But he didn't just wake up and go, I can do this now. It's that work. It's that time in. And that is something that is really good. And you see someone like Wizrobe, who really's been really grinding this game, and goes, look at all that he can do with this. Mm-hmm. He's converting this. It's more than just knowing, oh, this is what works. It goes, this is going to happen. I know this is going to work. And the thing with consistency is it's hard, because some days you're just not on, and that happens. Like Cody is someone else who I think is in his work ethic is very consistent. He works crazy hard. Mm-hmm. And puts in a lot of time, but sometimes if it's like different factors outside of the game, or maybe factors inside of the game, I wouldn't call him as consistent of a player as I would someone like Wizrobe.
Okay.
Because he'll have moments, like there are moments against like Kadoran where you see him, he like flubs like a wave shine up smash. Mm-hmm. And granted, it's hard to like expect, especially like someone as technical as Fox, to be on all the time. But it's one of those things where it's like, because I know Cody holds himself to such a high standard, like Mango's gonna hit that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's gonna get that and then get that kill and then have that stock be his instead of him getting grabbed because he missed his wave shine and now he dies for it.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's that, especially when you're trying to become the best, and Cody wants to get into that sort of echelon with Zane and Mango.
Yep. That's
where he is his grinding for. So I don't feel bad saying, like, pointing out something like that, because I know Cody a little bit, and he's a hard worker, and he's a grinder.
Oh, absolutely.
So like he'll work, and I'm sure he's gonna watch back the sets and things and analyze and be like, oh my god, like this can't happen.
Yep.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree with you entirely. I think practice regimens are beyond important.
When you were in your prime, I'm gonna call us both out of our prime of Melee because we've been not doing as much.
Not gonna lie, I'm probably better now than I was then.
Oh,
No,
hell yeah! I take it
definitely
back. Have you ever had practice regimens?
Not only have I had practice regimens, Drew, but I made one for Bub back in the day. I wonder if I still have it. It was a Falco guide. I never made one for Captain Falcon, and I wish I did. But I'm going to be looking for it because I'm like, I know I had some. But even if I don't find it, I had 3 different other guides that I used for just like general melee purpose. So I had Sleepy K's SSBM Comprehensive Competitors Beginner and Intermediate Guide. I had 2 Saints list of what to watch to get good. And then I had my own thing that I just made that had a list of shit that I wanted to pay attention to. And now I can't find it, but I'm going to keep looking.
That's great, though. I was not as well. There was time I kind of called it. I called it routines and things. But really, for a while, it was like just like do a lot of movement on each stage. I think I would just like warm up and like play and do like 5 minutes on each stage, practicing like side B cancels, shield drop aerials off of different height platforms, different things like that. But it did not keep up for as long as it should be, and that's something that's hard too. I mean, I think, what did they say? Is it like you're supposed to do something like, I think it's like 22 days in a row? I think that's the
what
thing.
To, to build like a muscle memory.
Build like build like a habit to like really stick. I think that's what it is. They say like 22 days, and then you can get past that like 3 weeks of doing something like in a row like that. It builds a lot better and like it becomes a lot easier.
I had no idea, but I mean, it makes sense at the end of the day. If that's like,
I think I've heard it because I know like different people have done like different like weight loss things and different exercise regimens and things. That's like a big hurdle. So getting to that point, even something if you're like really serious about, hey, I want to improve in melee or something, finding like a routine and sticking to it. And if it's something you're passionate about, finding that time to do it. And you go, I mean, like, I probably when I would like, I went to 2 shines, or those were the only majors I went to. I was definitely practicing tech skill and practicing things weeks leading up to that. But that's more of like a, hey, it's coming up, like the test is coming up, I'm gonna make sure I'm ready.
But that's a lot of what people do, I think.
Yeah.
And I agree with you here because it's funny, actually. One of the episodes of Bottom of Smash Mountain that I was listening to involved my boy JoJo, the Falcon from New York City area, metropolitan, I guess we could say. And he talked about how like that he strongly believes a lot of people don't fucking practice correctly. They don't know what the fuck they're doing, and they wonder why they either stagnate or they're not doing well. And he talked about it, and he's like, when I go on stream and when I play and when I'm doing things, like I'll go on at like fucking crack 10 hours, whatever, and most of the time I'm just grinding because it's just something that I want to be making sure that I'm practicing and making sure I am consistent. Like I know, like I've even tuned into his streams before, and he'll just be practicing like, what is it? Like dash, grab peach, down throw, dash, instant up air, shuffle, grab peach again, like re-grab, and try to get like a full conversion without like the uncle punch resetting. Yeah. And like he'll be practicing that for probably like solid 15 to 30 minutes before he even remotely is like, okay, I'll either practice something different now or I'm just I'm going to actually play Melee now. But he always makes sure, it seems like, whenever he's going to stream or whatever he's doing, like, practice is essential every day that you are dedicated to something. I wouldn't even say 22 days. I would say every day that you are if you are dedicated to something, you have to practice it every day, and it has to be meaningful practice. It can't be log on to Slippy, beat up some people for 20 to like 30 minutes or whatever and say that was my practice today. That wasn't.
Yeah.
That wasn't.
Yeah. You can meaningful practice is a term that rings with me a lot. There's a lot of in anything, there's a lot of going through the motions.
Yep.
And going through the motions kind of puts you in this like false idea that you are improving in a lot of ways. And you might be improving slightly, but there's so much more. Like I think about it as like a musician, as an instrumentalist. If I spend a half an hour practicing, but like I'm really just doing warm-ups and watching a Twitch stream, which I've done, like but like, am I really focusing on working on this and this and this?
Exactly.
Or am I just like doing the thing at letting time go by? Yeah, I'm working a little bit on my chops and my flexibility, but it's not that like actual dedicated focused practice that you would want. Mm-hmm. And sometimes people don't know the right way to practice, which is okay.
Agreed.
And I think through sort of COVID thing, there's been more top players getting into coaching.
Yep.
And like showing things like that and saying, "Hey, this is how you would practice that." There's different things. Like I got a lesson with Cody once.
Nice.
Talking about Marth Puff, and Tuesday absolutely demolished me at an event. Like I was completely lost. But Cody gave me.
Did you mean Fox Puff or?
Yeah, what'd I say?
Marth Puff.
Marth Puff? No, Fox.
This is the most scoped episode. I'm telling you.
This is. Fox Puff.
This is Fox Puff.
I mean, the set was from a while ago, but I mean, he gave me a lot of good help, and then I played other people, and like I think Puff is one of my stronger matchups now. But as someone through like music and things, I have a pretty good idea of what I need to be doing when I practice if I really want to go in. Mm-hmm. But a lot of times you need someone to point you in that right direction and go, "Hey, this is what you need." Because if you don't know it's a problem, you need someone else to point that out, and that's perfectly okay. That's why even like Zane, especially for a while, like Junebug was like coaching him, even when he was like doing a whole bunch of stuff. Mm-hmm. Like he still gets that. And I mean, you look at like the best teams in the world, right? You look at group esports and things. The coach has such a huge role.
Absolutely.
Because you have so much to focus on and what you're doing. Having someone else go, "Hey, I have a different perspective," and even just that different perspective is so big.
Which actually makes me wonder, when's the last time we've seen Crunch? Not to like fully dive out here.
No, yeah.
I feel like we haven't seen Crunch in forever, and like HBox is still out here performing, so it almost makes me wonder what he's doing for a coach. Well, but I do agree with you.
I mean, Hungrybox is performing, but he's not winning all the events like he was.
Ooh, HBox, you gonna put Crunch back on that payroll? I'm just saying, you out here with the 10K subs, and you can't afford to pay your best friend.
Liquid just got that crypto partnership.
Oh no,
they can
with who? Fucking
Coinbase, I think.
Oh, fucking
yeah. They did. I just saw
Coinbase. Unless
like
you're gonna
ad.
sponsor us, I'm not gonna talk you up. Fuck out of here.
Okay. All right. But I mean they got that bread though. They can get Crunch back on there.
Yeah, no, I mean you'd like to think. I mean I don't think he's dropped as a sponsor.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Like, it's same thing with like Chillin' Dude, right? Like he's sponsored by Liquid, but like he don't compete. We know that. Is Ken still sponsored by Liquid? I feel like I saw Ken was streaming like relatively recently, and he had like the Liquid shit still on. I don't know. Maybe I'm just seeing things. I derail because my brain is still like only half awake. But so I agree with you. I think like the coaching is extremely important. These types of things are definitely crucial. But one thing that I catch myself immediately falling into because I was there is the concept of, so I do want to get better. I know I'm not doing my best. I know I could be improving. Coaching sessions cost money, and maybe the people I'm playing against a majority of the time aren't better than me. So like I'm almost wondering in my brain what could have helped me to develop more, except I mean I know I did go to school with people that were better than me, so I had ways to improve, but I guess now with like the Slippy era and things like that, when it comes to Smash, there's easier ways to communicate or try and make friends that you can find that are definitely better. And just free sessions of just talking things through. What did you notice?
Hashing it out. If someone asks me a good question, I'll almost always give it a response. I think there's been like 2 or 3 people who I randomly play them on NetPlay. 1 or 2 of them I may have known a little bit, but I've had someone just completely out of the blue. And this is something that people talk about. Don't go and ask someone, what can I do better? If you give such an open-ended question, it's like there's so many things, and it's like you don't really know what you're looking for. I can't just give you everything.
Yep.
But there would be something like, oh, what about this interaction do I not do more? I'm looking because someone I was talking to, I gave them like a whole like huge essays, and afterwards I was like, I'm sorry. This is someone I played on NetPlay. He was like, your sets for Shmeely at Calvar Cup, great. Looked like you were comfortable in the Fox Falco matchup. It's my worst matchup. Is there any advice you can give about the matchup that isn't just play better mix-ups out of laser, because that's all I hear? And then he says, one thing I noticed was your dash dancing, and talking about how I dash dance, and he sees that as being different than other Foxes. What am I thinking about in that? And it's not something I had even really thought about until he brought it up.
Yep.
But for him, I was like, oh, let me think about that. And I'm like, yeah, let me go into it
and stuff, and then
so I went back a little bit and I started thinking about my play, and then I was able to go, oh, this is what I was thinking. And then it talks about, this is what I think about Fox Falco or neutral, and this is in my position where this goes. And then I went into, I gave this guy like essays.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't expect anything. I was just like, oh, here. This is kind of what I think out of it. But he asked the right question. He came into it like super nicely, and I'm not the best player in the world. I'm not gonna have the best answers, but he was like, hey, I saw something you were doing and I wanted to like learn from it. And I'm like, for sure.
Yep.
I'll ask people all the time. My buddy Jake, 42nd, I played a lot of old school RuneScape with him. Really? And that's how we started to get closer. Yes, he's got a max account. He is like legit.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's cracked. But so we're playing in Discord all the time, playing RuneScape, and we started playing Fox Puff. And Jake, former top 100, very, very good player.
He wasn't actually 42nd. That's just his tag for those that don't know.
Yeah.
He's 42nd in our hearts.
Yeah. But we would play, and at the beginning, it was more just kind of like we would play, he would beat me, be kind of like whatever. And I wasn't really, I was just trying to like process, oh man, I'm getting beaten down.
Right.
And it happened like once or twice, and like we played a little bit, and then I started to kind of like ask about a situation and be like, you beat me here, what do I do? And just from there, it was like, I think to him, because it was more of just like he's not going to waste his time just like running down everything.
Yeah.
But he was like, oh, this interaction, this happens. He has all that knowledge there. And I was like, oh my God. So then that whole session, I'm working on this interaction, or where am I going to wait for Puff to land, or how am I going to play around invincibility or something like that.
Yep.
So just finding the right questions and finding ways to do that can work. And even on Slippy, you can find someone who's way better than you on Slippy, and just maybe go to the Slippy launcher, see if you can find them on Discord or something.
Yep.
And go, hey. And the worst they're going to say is be like, ignore you. And then it's like, all right, at least you're starting to think more about the game, you know?
Mm-hmm. I mean, that was the first thing that ever blew my mind, was understanding that, like, because again, being a Doc kid, hearing the shit about like Mewtwo King and thinking like, oh, yeah, dude, he's LOL a robot. Like, he's genuinely thinking of every situation before it happens. Haha, I'm sure. Then it's like you start to play these games more competitively, and you genuinely do. You start thinking way more about the smaller, more nuances of the game rather than just there is 3 platforms and a base and I want to attack him, so I'm going to do that. Like, there's so much more. It even gets deeper than like, oh, Falco has the short hop laser, and that's a good way to stun the opponent, so I can do that and then get an approach. It still goes deeper, and the more and more that you play, the more and more that you read, the more and more that you do study and you talk to people, it definitely builds that world. And I think
it's so good.
I'm right there with you with the concept that, like, if you can take it upon yourself to understand these things and stop looking at I just realized something in my head of something that triggers me is when people talk about games that I care about and that I've sunk a lot of time into. And I think you're going to know exactly what I'm about to say is when people go, it's just a game. These things are a little bit more than that. Like, yes, at its core, it's a game, but you are only proving my point that you aren't trying to get to the point that I'm trying to get to if that's all you look at it as.
You're not trying to get to the same point. You don't have this sort of attachment to it, which again is fine. But
well, in some cases,
yeah, in some
we don't need no gaming addictions anymore.
Yeah, but even, I mean, it's the skill sets. If you want to look, if you want to look at purely just what you do in the game, I don't think that's a really fair shake, because you got to think about the skills, and sometimes you get things that aren't good, like if you're staying up for 18 hours playing and then you get 2 hours of sleep.
Like,
that's not a good thing, but it could be a result of what you're doing. But the grinding, that sort of mentality of this is what I need to do to get this done, that discipline. There's people that probably get a lot of their discipline from like, oh, I really want to grind this game. And that's why you see people who have that discipline do well, and it's not just them in one game. I'm gonna bring up Wild. I'm gonna bring up Matt.
We love our homie Matt.
Matt's I remember Matt was at Fredonia with us for a little bit, and then after a while he wasn't, but he was playing Falco at the time, Will Times, and he was kind of like, hey, I'm gonna go back to Long Island. I'm really gonna try to play there. And I'm like, awesome. Like, I'm going to look up these brackets and things. All of a sudden, he's, like, taking names. He's doing really well, like, getting PR in Long Island. And, like, he had this, like, grind. He could do it, and he could get really, really good. And then he was really, really good in CS. I didn't know anything about CS.
He was global.
Yeah.
Yep, I have his whole resume here.
Yeah.
He was global in Counter-Strike. He had 5K MMR in Dota. He was he
was doing comp Fortnite for a little bit.
He was a platinum TF2 Highlander player. He did play Fortnite. He claims this is his own self-proclaimed Fortnite nobody. I'd say he did. I think he did some shit. I don't know.
He like, I'm not the World Cup, but there was like qualifiers into the World Cup. He was like a kill away from getting into.
He was getting there. Yeah.
But I remember, because I mean, I've been friends with him since I met him. And Valorant comes out, and he's like, I'm playing this, and then he decided, hey, I'm going to give this a shot. I'm going to stop and go pro. And I was like, and I was talking to different people. I was like, he can get there.
Absolutely.
Like, he can get there. He can do what he needs to do. He'll put in the work. And much love if you watch this map. But I mean, I'm not even saying it
he
for
asked
him,
about the podcast recently.
But that's what I think about when I talk about like consistency and like putting in that work to get where you need to, and finding ways. Like if Matt decided, okay, I don't want to play video games anymore. It's not going to happen. But say he did, like I already know that work ethic that he has, and that ability to get things done and get better at them, and that's so valuable to like anything he decides to do. But I mean, watching like the beginnings, and then him getting to Radiant, and then him being on like a team with friends, and then joining other teams, and it's like, it's crazy, and like, hey, but it's not. It's crazy, but it's not like a surprise.
I mean,
like it's
it's
like an eventual thing.
He even got a sponsor when he was playing Melee more consistently. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah,
he was on EDL for a while.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So it's like it doesn't shock me, and I agree with you completely. Players like him, and even diving a bit more off from even just not to have like personal bias, because of course, same thing. Matt's been probably one of the closest friends since I met him as well. We can look at even players that we've been talking about thus far. Wizzy, top Melee player in the world, top 64 player. Top ultimate player for a little while there, at least in top 50, I would say.
Yeah, he jumped in there for a bit.
Here's something, I don't know how much you're familiar with this. He also is an Overwatch player, and he's pretty decent from what I saw of him playing Overwatch.
I don't know if I knew that.
He does play Overwatch, or at least he did. There was a time frame I was able to like see his streams, and he would be playing that. Who else do we have on the chopping block? Remember Silent Wolf, one of the best and sickest foxes to ever bless the game.
Really
top level Donkey Kong
Donkey Kong,
speedrunner.
yeah.
Yep. It's just like these people that put in these grind mentalities, but
and we go back
themselves.
And we go back to consistency. We go back to the episode we talked about speedrunning. Those world records, that's consistency and the repetition. That's the name of the game in speedrunning. Yeah. That's what you get to.
Which some of those things I even look at and I just go, geez, how much on the path of mental breakdown are you going? But then I catch myself saying it, and I'm like, oh, that's weird, Dan, because how many times have you practiced fucking shine grab, you psychopath? Like, you're on that.
How many times have I practiced shine grab and then not implemented
and
it
can't
against
do
an actual
it? Yeah.
person?
You fuck it up.
Or just forget about it. And then I'm like, there are times I just yell, oh, shine grab, and then I am way better of a player because I remember that interaction exists.
Yep. And then even more to dive in, because something you wanted to talk about is music, right? Talk about music types of things. I know when I was a percussionist, practicing certain mallet rhythms, or maybe even
repetition. Practicing slowly.
Yeah.
I'm saying
that
this
was
in
my least favorite.
I'm saying this in my teacher voice now. This is coming out as the teacher in me. What you said you don't like practicing slowly?
I hate it. I hated it so much as a kid because 16th notes, you're going to start hopefully, and then you're going to go faster, faster, like.
And want to know what those 2 times at slower tempos did? They built in that muscle memory, so when you got to the big, scary, fast stuff, it was there, and you didn't have to worry about technique. It was just building on what you already know. Scaffolding. That's a music ed term. They go crazy for that. Scaffolding. I'm gonna say it, and an educator who did ed TPA is rejoicing somewhere.
Oh my god!
But no, seriously, it's huge. I'll talk about the slow practice, building with the really core basics. Mm-hmm. You can talk to all Valorant aim training.
Yep.
Aim training. You don't have to start on the craziest Kovac settings, doing the hardest thing. Yep. Just this point to this point. You don't even have to go for the fastest times. You'll see people do the spider shot or whatever in that thing and go, I need to get the highest score. Yeah. That doesn't have to be your first goal. Can you flick to this one? Boom, right on it. You don't even have to start fast, but where's that placement? We work on placement. We work on the adjusting. We work on speed. For a couple, there was a little bit I was trying to get into Valorant, and I was doing the practice things, and I was trying to work on my aim. I never played attack FPS. I never played a keyboard mouse shooter before. My aim was awful.
Right.
It's still not good. I still never made it into gold. And that's okay, because I stopped putting the work in. If I had decided, no, I'm going to do better, I probably could have gotten, I'm not saying I would have gotten to probably even Immortal, probably not even Diamond, but I would have gotten into gold and more. But I made that choice and went, this is not on my list of priorities.
Which I think is an important thing to mention here, is the people, and I know I used to be one of them, who asks the question, or puts themselves in the shoes of someone that's above their current rank and says, why am I not there yet? I put in all this work and yet I'm not there yet. And it's That's because you're not there yet. You are giving the answer in itself and not realizing it. You're claiming to be a gold when you play like and you act like a silver. You're not putting the work in properly. And it's just, we go back into the circle of like, there is a correct way to be practicing.
I'm turning this podcast into education or foundations of education class.
It's an edutainment.
Well, because I'm going to talk about we're not going to go into the philosopher because no one cares about that, even me as like the person. Fine, Carol Dweck, the power of yet. Carol Dweck, the power of yet. I'm going to have like Josh or Pat who watch this episode and they're going to go crazy because it's like throwback to sophomore year. But the power of yet, just the way you can spin something. Oh, I could never do this. That person's way better than me. Or finding just like a little bit of a changing the spin, changing the narrative. I can't do that yet.
Yes.
I'm not there yet. That outlook can be a huge, huge difference in anything. And this obviously is way past Melee. This is way past Valorant. This is literally anything that you're looking to do and grind and achieve. That change in mentality could be flipping a switch. It could go, oh, I really do want to keep going for it.
Yep.
Like, you can have to make that, you have to get to a point and make that choice. Is this something I really want to do? Or is this something I really want to commit that time?
And if you do, making sure it fits in your schedule, not literally killing yourself to make it
don't change your life. Like, I am very confident that I could have been a top 100 Melee player. I am fairly confident if I had actually put in the time and spent a lot more time researching. I almost did no analysis when I was even in like my peak. Like very little. If I had put in that time and went into resources, I was already like pretty good with just what I was doing and like squeaking out around top 100 wins. With like no traveling in that, I know that if I had actually decided Melee, this is the thing I'm really going to go into, I could have gotten there. I'm not saying I would have been top 20, top 50, but I think I could have gotten into top 100. But I got to a point and I was like, this isn't where my priority is. I can't put the time into this.
Yeah.
I need to focus on this. And I am 100% at ease and at peace with that.
Yep.
And that's important. And sometimes it's a hard conversation to have because I love Melee so much and I'm trying to do this and I'm like, oh man. But then it's like, am I really going to stop doing this and then not go and teach these lessons because I need to be going to these weeklies on Thursday and this? And like, those are decisions you have to make. And if that's something you really, really, really want and that works and makes sense in your life, do it.
Yep.
And in my case, it didn't. And I was like, I can go and I consider myself retired now, which is like it's just there's nothing around me.
Sure.
But it's like I talk like I'm not in my peak. Yes, I might be a little faster now because all I'm doing is just like spamming tech skill against idiots on unranked.
Billy Bob 95.
But
Martha's fucking crazy.
But I mean like, and I might probably be better a little bit, but like in terms of like what I was doing and that kind of thing, I don't have the time to do that anymore.
Right.
But I mean, I know that. So I'm not kicking myself that I'm not at that level. You know, that's the problem. I think some people lose sense of what they're actually doing.
No, they 100%
it goes back to the time. And 100%. It's like, you look at some like, how am I not here? How am I not doing this? It's like, well, are you backing it up?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, you look like Zayn and Cody. They rose to top 5 status faster than anyone had before.
But where does it come from, right? And the answer is always, you didn't see it. Just because you didn't see it doesn't mean they blew up out of nowhere.
So this comes into one of my favorite things. It's my favorite things. I'm saying it with the most sarcastic smile I can.
Oh no.
Natural talent.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, you are so talented. oh my goodness, you do this and you went to grad school for music? You must be so talented. Do you know how much that pisses me off?
No, but
you know, so yes, I believe that there. I know this is something I was very ready to jump on, and that was my moment. So I believe there are talent. There are things that naturally come better to other people, and yes, that means maybe I'm better at picking this up than you are, and that is something. And yes, I would probably consider that a talent or a skill. Mm-hmm. But for people at the top level to be like, I can't do that, I'm not talented enough, or I didn't do it, is a whole bunch of crap.
Yeah.
Like, when you get there, no one got to top 10 in the world by accident. Mm-hmm. Like I'll even say Cody was not the best player when he started, right? Oh. Like, everyone was like getting shit on at their locals. I had like friends like, yeah, I like 2-0'd Cody, like back then, like he was not good. And Cody knows he was not a good player when he started. No one came out and was like, oh my goodness, I'm destroying everyone.
Right.
But that didn't stop him. And then you just keep going and you keep going. And that's how you get better. You look, there's a lot. I mean, like, it's anything. But yes, there's some talent just there. But there's a lot of people, and it's people that aren't in the know. Mm-hmm. They don't get how it works. They haven't done that sort of grind that say it's talent. Look how gifted you are because you're able to do that. Don't worry about the 1,000 hours and all the different sacrifices you've had to make in your life to get to this point. But look how gifted you are to be in the spot you are. I wish I had that talent.
Do you think the people that get that told to them, do you think they sit on that? Or do you think a majority of them are humble enough to say, shut the fuck up? Like, no, it's not talent. I worked for this shit, dude. I fucking worked for it. Do you think there's a sense to that? Or do you think they just take that? Because I feel like you're expressing you've seen too much of them take it.
This happens a lot. So as a musician, everyone you know is familiar with music, right? Like 99% of the people, 99% of the people you meet have not done anything outside of maybe in high school, right? Mm-hmm. So to them, it's a whole magical world that they aren't able to do. So you have all of this talent that you are able to do this. So coming from like a musician background, you get that a lot.
Okay.
And here's the thing. It's not meant in a malicious way.
No,
it's not meant.
It's not worded to be. Yeah.
Yeah. And you'll have like family. Oh my goodness, you're so talented. I love hearing you play this. Okay. And it's like, you're saying that like you're impressed with what I'm doing, and I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. But there was a whole debate on Smash Twitter a while ago. I stopped tuning into Smash Twitter because I was so tired of it. But there was one that was like Leffen. People were talking about natural talent and things, and it's like, yes, there's little bits that get you here and there, but like, if you want to get like even remotely good at anything, you can't just be naturally good at it and just let that carry you.
Yeah.
Some people get carried a little bit, but if you're actually talking about like really being good or like really excelling or dominating something.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you could say that there might be a little bit of talent or something like this, but no one's going to go to Wizrobe, who spent the last 3 years tech chasing Fox, go, dude, that's such a gift he has. That's such a gift. He just pops up.
They won't say that, but they're going to say his reaction time is a gift.
You know how many times he's seen that Fox roll? Do you know? I don't.
No, you're right.
How many times? Right. How many times has he looked at those little legs on the Fox to see if they're splitting to go tech in place, or they're gonna move around?
I will say Wizrobe's probably like a bad like
but even
character
still,
topic, because I feel like he's definitely the type that would say like, dude, I've been doing this shit for so fucking long. You don't know.
But that's what I mean. Yeah. He's been
Yeah.
doing this forever, and that's the thing. And I mean, I'm saying this like, cause, and I like, as again, this is all, a lot of this comes from like musicians, but it's when people don't know. So people look at video games too, and they just like, oh, you just like are good at video games. Like that's it. Like, oh, you're good at video games. That's why you're number one in the world or something. And it's like, it's a little bit more than that. Just a little bit.
It absolutely is. I think I'm starting to get more along of what you're trying to say here, and to dumb it down maybe a bit here. It's very much like calling someone talented in a sense, as much as the like direct term itself is meant or interpreted most of the time positively, it might as well be an insult to people that have genuinely worked.
So it takes away from all the work and the sacrifices. If I could really sum it up, like it just, and I mean, and I don't want to make people feel bad that they have said that, but it's something that like if you go to someone. Yeah, and to go, the difference between seeing someone and going, just think about it this way. Stan, what's something that you're very passionate about and something that you're like, hey, I do a pretty good job with this kind of thing?
Crochet.
Okay, crochet. There's either like a, wow, must become so easy to you, you're so talented. I wish I could do that, or I wish I could put in the work to get to that point.
Thanks.
But like that difference, and I mean, either way, the same sentiment is there.
Yeah.
Right. But it's not something that's really gonna just like change like that. But it's something that I feel, especially like as a musician, I feel very passionate about, because I mean, you get it all the time. It's like, oh, you're like, because everyone doesn't see all the work behind. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And like it's like hours and like shit you go through and the ups and downs and like all this stuff that like people don't see. And like I would say that more you'll see obviously like top players and like people that have the spotlight on them.
Yeah.
You see it more. But
In
that
fact,
different
not even to like fully tear away from that, and hopefully this doesn't sound bad in any way here, and if it does, I do apologize for any insensitivity here, but look at a lot of like Japanese gaming. A lot of them, they definitely seem like, especially if you look at like League of Legends, they are pulled into this and sinking those 24 hours in. Like they do throw it all in. And they do throw all the effort and all the time and all the care into these games, or again, music or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
A lot of that type of tradition and a lot of that type of teaching and that type of, I guess you would just call it a lifestyle at that point. Like it is a risk. I agree with you. I think there are risks that you're taking, and there's a lot that you're throwing away, and sometimes you're okay with it, but not everyone is going to be.
Yeah, I'll bring it back to sort of esports. Let's talk about some of the biggest content creators out there. You look at someone like Ninja.
Yep.
Like, I've watched different podcasts, different things. Ninja did not just, oh my god, I have 100,000 views every day on Fortnite.
How come I could hear that snap, but I can never hear you?
You can't hear my claps at the beginning? My claps are right in front of the mic.
I don't know what the hell that was. Anyway, yeah.
But he was streaming like H1Z1 at the beginning for like nobody for like months. Then he was getting a little bit. I was watching in 100 Thieves had an interview with him, and he was talking. There was some guy from Europe that was the next best streamer. And he started to take notes and realized that this guy was getting all of these views because that was the only person at that like nighttime thing. So Ninja started waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning every day to stream to find a gap for that audience.
Jesus.
And got that. But like things like that. And it's like, but I mean, it was more like, not like I'm trying to take them from this person, but like here's a...
This is a time slot.
this is a time slot that there's a lot of activity and there's potential here.
You know, it's funny being the resident communications major. I mean, you know where that concept comes from?
Where?
It's fucking TV and popular media. That's exactly what that is. Look at radio waves. Look at television shows. I wanna start a TV show. Okay, where's a dead space right now on public access? That's what I'm going to slot take. Oh, it's a garbage fucking time. Let me pay attention to what these bigger shows are doing. Rip or mimic what they're doing on my show.
Copy from the best.
Higher ratings. Take over a better time. That's yeah.
It goes, and I've actually been looking into Ludwig's content a little bit more.
There you go.
He's another I mean, he came from like random like Melee TO that did a little bit. And
well, he was a streamer even during that time. He's had his stream for a while. Yeah.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like no one knew, but like it didn't just happen. We didn't just turn around and then he's like playing Among Us, get it with like people that are getting like 1 million people watching these streams between all the streamers. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And things like that where it's like these people, a lot of people, and especially streaming, right? The people like, oh my goodness, you just like turn on the camera and like you get money thrown at you. And it's like, well, yeah, but like it's not like Tim the Tap Man didn't just like open up his stream to 20k people and 10k subs.
Tim, I will forever give like respect to. I've watched a lot of like the stuff that he's talked about from like his beginnings and like all the shit he went through, and I mean, props as hell.
And I mean, especially them, it's like the greatest success stories for them, and like where they came from. But this idea, I mean, it goes back to consistency. It comes to the work, the grinding that we get to. It's not. I mean, we're using mostly just like esports because that's kind of where this podcast is focused. But I mean,
but related to the music, I agree with you.
You can get it. It's not even just music. That's just the thing that I know it from. But anything that you're trying to do, any hobby, any like goal, any like going through school, all these different things.
Basketball players, football
sports,
players,
athletics,
players, soccer,
anything. There's so much. It's not even like, oh, this is what you need to do so you can push the buttons better to be better at Super Smash Bros. Melee for the Nintendo GameCube. It's like these, released 2001. But it's different skills. It's a skill set. It's a mindset that it. I want to find a way to say, because I know I'm very amped up.
Yeah.
I want to say that I don't want to. Okay, I'll say it like this: people that have this other sort of working mindset tend to find more success with what they do.
Yeah.
And there's always outliers. There's always random things here and there. Maybe something's not working. You have to reassess, or maybe sometimes the world sucks. Sometimes someone who doesn't deserve it gets it. You know? Like, that happens. But all in all, that's where it really goes. And it's something that I see and I try to instill in myself, and I sort of exude that. Like, I try not to go to people and just be like, oh, you're just like magic that you can do that. Like, it's crazy. You just started speedrunning this and all of a sudden, like, you can do this. It's like, yeah, but like, what about this person who spent like 4 weeks no-lifing this because they were like worried about what it would be before they would even stream it to other people, kind of thing. And just, I mean, we could all give endless examples of what I'm talking about, but that grind, having that mindset and going in is crazy, and it's something that could genuinely change your life if that's something that you're kind of lacking.
I just wish it was a lot more possible too. Like, not to somewhat end this on like a slightly sadder
it's
note,
hard.
But I think we all want that at the end of the day. I don't think there's a single person that you can talk to and ask them about what they currently do. I work in customer service all day. What do I want to do? I would love to be either a professional esports player or a professional esports personnel of some kind. That would be fucking fantastic, or at the worst case, a musician. But guess what I can't do right now and make a living doing? Because it is going to require that grind. It is going to require that effort. It is going to require stability. And what do we not have here in America right now?
Capitalism, down with the patriarchy.
No, that's what we do have.
Yeah.
What we don't have is a fucking
no, for real. Like, and we're not gonna get into political things like that. But like, you don't have the time to hone in those crafts that you want when you have to work 40 hours a week.
But so that's why I'm saying it's important to also keep in mind realism. As much as right now it sucks. I hope to God, like, again, not to overdo on politics for this podcast.
You want to be in a better
I want that to be something that people think about, because clearly in my own head, I didn't think about that for so long. I just thought about it where it's like, oh, clearly I made the wrong decisions my whole life. When it's like, no, you really didn't. You did the best that you could, and hopefully that's what most people are doing, is you're doing the best you can. You are trying to build those hobbies because you want to pursue them. Everyone wants to pursue their hobbies. It's just... it is fucking hard. If you have the means to chase it, if you have the means to build that consistency and build practice regimens and get to that point that you're satisfied with what you're doing, all the more power to you. But you got to be careful with it. And some people are out here not being careful enough, and it can be scary. But
it's hard. It's crazy.
I always will say, though, I give a lot more props to the people that make the jump and can fucking do it than. And
again, you look and just to kind of bring it into, sometimes you don't see all the work that goes behind it. You never do. But even sometimes with Twitter, we get to see. You see that these people that you think of, oh my goodness, are this amazing, are human, and things happen. Like you look at Cody. Like, I mean. Cody, sometimes like he'll tell you, hey, he's going through it. He's gone through it more than a lot of people have.
Absolutely.
Different dealing with different things, tournament nerves, health things, all this other fucked up stuff.
Everyone's got baggage.
Everyone's got baggage. You look at someone on the top of whatever you want to do. Like there's fight to get there. And sometimes it's in the cards that way and you get through it, and sometimes it goes, maybe it's okay, maybe I have to redirect for this, or maybe come back to this. It's crazy, and it's a lot.
Yeah.
I know now I'm just kind of going, but it's
I agree.
It's a big I didn't think when we talked about consistency, it's like a way to like go through life and having not consistency in its own, but this work ethic that leads to this consistency.
It is,
and it's like heavy, you know. Like I'm. This is definitely the most I can feel it in my chest. The most like amped I've definitely gotten talking about things here.
This has been the most inconsistent DrewNG I've seen on this episode. But you know what would be consistent is the constant shout outs we would be giving at this point of the episode for those that are subscribed to the patreon.com/thebakersdozen. We have a reason to shill now, Drew. We need to take advantage of it. I probably should have shouted it out in the beginning when I was talking about Spotify, but I mean, shit. This would be the part of the episode when we would be doing that closer towards the end here, as we're getting closer to wrapping up. I don't believe we have anything yet, but certainly if this is any of that motivation, check us out, patreon.com/thebakersdozen. You get so many great perks. So many great perks available to you here. You know, you get a smiley. You get to be called Drew, or Cute by Drew. You get to be called Drew by Cute. You get the full audios unedited.
I don't give that out to everyone. I do give it out to some of my friends and things, like Dan's cute. But
there we go. Like, see who else wants?
Maybe you too. You know,
could be you. You know, we have a lot of great perks lined up here. You get a listen-in pass. You get the audio file a day in advance without edits, so you get to hear all our dumb shit. Intro credits,
you forgot. You get to hear that Dan doesn't know how old he is.
No,
he's like, we were talking. Yeah, well, we were recording it, and we were going, and he's like, I was talking about my birthday is like coming up, and he's like, I'm 26. I'm like, when were you born? He's like 96. I was like, you're not that age, and he struggled with math, but that's okay, you know. But we got it recorded forever in two separate audio files.
Oh my god! But yeah. This has been fun. I didn't expect us to even go this long. I was expecting somewhat of an early episode, but I mean,
I say that every week.
We
really
do. I don't know.
And this, full disclosure, we didn't have a rundown or a script for this one.
I said this was the most scuffed episode.
Usually we have like a whole little like bulleted thing, and I had mentioned stuff the other day, and we just kind of like, cool. And then we like hopped in a call, and we're like, we're just going to go with this, right? And then it went. I mean, I guess that's the kind of feel and groove of a podcast, though. We just kind of take this idea and go. I think we've been going to like a pretty sticking around those themes, so.
Absolutely. But I do want to thank you guys again so much for tuning in, as I imagine I'm going to have to do the outro here as well. You got the podcast.
He does everything. He does everything. He like got it on Spotify. He's doing this. He's getting these things ready, and I'm still like, yeah, you want to take this one out, buddy? Play us out, Johnny.
I was gonna say you got the socials here and over there. Spotify, you can listen to us. We're working on Apple Podcasts. It might take a little bit of time here, but we're gonna try and get on there. I think Google Podcasts as well. If you guys want us on other streaming services, let us know and we can fucking look into it. But come on, you got YouTube, Spotify. Who's using anything else, right? It's like Apple Podcasts.
Who's used Apple Podcasts?
Who's using Pandora anymore, right? You're full of shit. No, you're not. But yeah, this has been a great episode. I had a lot of fun. We will see y'all next week for some tasty flavors coming soon. I closed out last week because I said the same thing. Did you? Motherfucker. Yeah, I did.
Wait, I guess I would have closed out. Yeah, probably. 2 for 1. Thanks, buddy.
I'm holding you. You're on the next one, motherfucker. All right, everyone have a good night. Thank you for listening.
Thank you guys so much. Peace out.